about to see is one that really highlights the subtle differences between intermediate game and advanced game. See, intermediate guys can get results occasionally, but they're inconsistent, and usually when they get results, it feels like they're pushing, they're trying, and the girl just kind of is hopefully giving in. But it's very clear who has the value and who's trying hard in the interaction. On the other hand, for advanced guys, they flip the script and get the girl chasing. So you're going to see the subtle ways in which I frame things in a way that's favorable to me, which makes this pull much, much, much easier. In fact, it's going to look incredibly easy, but this is the type of pull that tons and tons of guys mess up on a regular basis. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry, you look fucking adorable, but you look like trouble, so...
Oh, thank you.
Intrigued and scared all at once. Okay, so that's just the open and the words after it, but there's a lot going on. What do I want you to notice? I want you to notice that the open I went with definitely makes it man to woman. It definitely conveys that there is something sexual, something, not something that I would not say to another man going on, right? On the other hand, there's tension being established. I'm not saying I like you, I'm saying, oh, I maybe like you, but you're trouble, right? So it's a push-pull. And then I also follow it up. A lot of guys make the mistake right on the open of they'll open and then there's a silence and they just hope the girl will take the mantle and continue the interaction. That's not going to happen very often. Okay, that's very, very rare. So I followed up, and I actually followed it up with basically a continuation of the same frame, a continuation of the same kind of a push-pull. So I've already been man to woman in a sense twice, but both of those were push-pulls. Both of those had a positive and a negative spike to them. So they're not like, hey, here are my balls on a platter, or hey, I love you unconditionally, which you wouldn't want to say to a complete stranger. Other thing you can notice, not verbal, but it is communication, and sometimes the physicality can have communication too. It can essentially be a form of verbal game. The fact that I did initiate physical contact early, now it was with something subtle, just a touch on the arm, no big deal, nothing really sexual, but I've initiated physical contact already within the first few seconds of the interaction. So it's very clearly not just a friend-to-friend interaction, but I've maintained my power to an extent, and I've created some tension, made it teasing already within the first, 2-3 seconds of the set.
Okay.
Okay. What is your story? I'm curious.
Now I search my friend. She's in.
So when she says okay and pauses, what is she really saying? She's saying, so where is this going? But by saying so where is this going, she's doing two things. One, she's accepting everything I've said before. She's not objecting to it. She's not giving me shit tests for it. So I've conveyed man to woman and she hasn't had any problem with it, right? And then she's saying what's next. So she's actually communicating to me what I need to do, which is move the interaction forward. I've already been to man to woman a few times. She's accepting of that and wants to know what's next. Well, what's the next thing after conveying man to woman? It's a phase that within the program, the system, we'd call evaluation, right? Which is deciding if I like the girl. And so this tell me your story, who are you, that kind of thing, is like the lightest form of evaluation. It's essentially almost a biographical question, but it is the start of evaluation, especially with the tonality. With the tonality being a little bit challenging, a little bit like you're appraising her, right? So I'm already kind of hinting at, will you qualify yourself to me? Will you explain yourself to me? And if she does, that's great. If she doesn't, it was subtle enough, there's not much lost in the attempt.
Catwalk.
Okay.
With another German friend of her.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm alone here because she was kissing and stuff like that, and I'm stuck on. Now I'm alone.
Fair enough. All right. So I gave her the opportunity to try and explain herself, qualify herself, and she did exactly that. So to open up to me, to explain herself to me, to let me into her world, that's all really, really good. The other thing that's good here is the logistics. The logistics are that she's alone and that the friend, at least for the moment, is not a huge factor. So this is all looking really, really good, really, really soon. But again, I want you to notice that while it is looking good, it's not like I didn't do anything. Right? What did I do? I went up with relaxed kind of body language and tonality. I went up and I made it man to woman. I didn't just beat around the bush and make it friend to friend, but I did it in a way that was challenging, and had some positive and negative polarity. So there's a lot of little things that I've done that give it this opportunity to be good. Had I not done those things, it's unlikely that it would be going so well this quickly.
Well, you actually technically are talking to a very cute American boy.
All right. So there is essentially a cocky statement, and being cocky is actually incredibly valuable in game. If you ask girls, do they want a confident guy, they'll say yes. You ask girls, do they want a cocky guy, they will say no. However, being cocky works better, especially early on. The reason why being actually cocky, beyond confident, all the way to the level of cocky works, is that it instigates a response. Right? So if you're just confident, girl can pleasantly be like, oh, I'm with a confident guy. If you're cocky, it kind of makes her kind of almost like tense up or react to it, or have like a gut reaction, right? She can have a gut reaction of like falling into your frame and getting turned on. She can have a gut reaction of being like, oh, who is this guy, and wanting to challenge you, but she's going to respond. And one of the things you want to do really early on in an interaction is, I call it assuming a frame that, if true, would lead to sex. So when you assume the frame that you're an attractive person, what can she do with that? Well, if she accepts that frame, great. That's wonderful. That's accepted as an idea that's present in the interaction, and that's going to serve you very, very well. If she resists that, well, she's going to either be kind of logical and explaining and just like kind of justifying and adjusting her behavior to you, or she's going to give you a shit test, which is going to give you the opportunity to demonstrate your value very, very quickly, a lot faster than you'd be able to without the shit test. I want to talk briefly on that. Why are shit tests such a good way of demonstrating value? Well, it's because anybody can go up and have a line. Anybody can go up and say some clever. Without, any context. But when someone puts you on the spot in a unique way that you're not expecting, how you react in that moment is an honest signal. It's an honest portrayal, an honest conveyance of who you really are and how you really feel. And so you can convey a lot more about yourself a lot more quickly when shit tested than when not shit tested. So when I go and I act cocky from the get-go, all the outcomes are positive for me, right? One outcome is she accepts the cocky frame. That's really good. Next, my shit test. That's really good. The next one is she starts like getting logical and explaining and kind of in her head, and that's also fine. It's not the greatest, but it's also fine. But all of those things are good. I just want to introduce that kind of premise, that kind of idea into the interaction as soon as possible.
What?
You're talking to a very cute American boy.
Okay.
You're only
Your
sort of
English is very good, and my English is very bad, so I'm very sorry.
Okay, so again, what's happening? She's accepted my frame. She's not disputing in any way that I'm a cute American boy. That's really good. And what is she doing now? She's qualifying herself further. So this is, again, really, really good. Who has the value in this context, me or her? Clearly it's me. You're okay. Your English is pretty good. She's feeling a little insecure. She's qualifying herself a lot. What a lot of guys will do in this situation is they're like, well, I teased her and that worked, so let me keep teasing her and keep teasing her and keep teasing her and keep teasing her. And the problem with that is you teased enough to establish that you had some value, but if you keep teasing and teasing and teasing, create this like enormous value gap that makes it like unreal, or you're just going to make her really insecure, you're going to make her really uncomfortable, etc. Also, when you just tease and tease and tease,